What is good? What is good, people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. Some of my favorite stuff to do on this channel is to literally talk about some upcoming topics and something I'm going to talk about a lot in the future, that being Project A, or whether it's Valorant or other leaks out there. You guys might be wondering why we're not covering the leaks so far is because those leaks have not been confirmed to a notion where I'd be comfortable covering them as of right now, but several names out there so far have been hinted at for Project A. As of right now, I will keep it as Project A, but this weekend talking about a lot of pro players out there and other esports who are already hinting at their futures inside Project A. I will show you guys some of the tweets, and when I do so, I mean, this could be gigantic for gaming. We've already talked about here once in the channel, the hype of this is huge, especially given what we've seen so far. It's probably too big. Of course, though, it's backed by Riot Games and Tencent, the kings of esports, so that's why there is so much hype, and rightfully so. But again, with what we've seen so far, maybe a bit too much hype, right? But this game, if it does live up to expectations, it can change esports entirely. For the first time, besides maybe a Fortnite, we could be seeing pro players currently in other esports leave those esports for Project A, or whatever it ends up being called, which is going to be absolutely nuts. And of course, as us, an esports news channel, it does excite me. You know, people out there, if you think I'm not excited for this, I certainly am. Do I think it will compete right away with R6 or Fortnite or Counter-Strike or Apex and Overwatch? No, especially when compared to a game like CS, which is the top of the FPS genre right now, taking, 2 decades to get there. I don't think it's going to overhaul any of those anytime soon. And so I get a bit annoyed when people say that kind of stuff. Does it have the potential to in the future? Maybe. It's possible. And it's especially cool when we see other players that I've covered before. You know, Pasha Biceps, former Counter-Strike pro. He's retired currently. We also have Swag, a banned Counter-Strike pro. They have now, both come forward and said, hey, we're going to give Project A a chance when we go pro. Other Virtus Pro members have also been on the initial launch of Project A before it even enters beta. So you got to assume maybe a guy like Neo might be in there as well for all you Counter-Strike fans. Even Ferocities from Call of Duty, a Call of Duty pro who cannot actually make a main stage team, supposedly due to some historical clips around him as well, which painted him in a negative light. So what does he do? He maybe turns towards a Project A amongst others as well. I believe Soaz also tweeted about this, obviously a current League of Legends pro. He'll probably be doing that for quite some time, but who knows? 2 to 3 years from now, if he does retire from League of Legends, why not hop into Project A, as many other pro players have at least hinted at. I know a lot of these tweets can be seen as jokes or humorous or maybe just subtle hints, as we have not seen the game yet, but as we slowly approach the rumored dates out there being March, when we see betas or at least the first access to the game out there publicly, it's going to be crazy to see the more and more pro players that jump on the bandwagon, especially when you consider the money behind Tencent, the money behind Riot Games, and the sheer quality of what they could do at the top esports scene is what has people reeling of, is this the next big esport? Now, every time we've talked about this, besides Fortnite, it has not worked out, right? Remember when Apex Legends was going to be the Fortnite killer and that really fell through? Remember when Blackout from Black Ops 4 was going to be the next big BR to kill Fortnite, and that, pretty much crapped the bed, albeit those are 2 titles that tried to take over Fortnite, and this is a game in Project A which is trying to take over the FPS scene and be a mix of Apex, Overwatch, CSGO, and maybe a couple of others. Can it do it? The question remains unanswered, but either way, we certainly have already several pro players out there who are interested. I will leave you guys with this, and I would love to read your comments down below. And I know this is actually kind of pointless because the game has not even been seen by most people or even played, and it's going to be a lot of open-ended questions until we get there. I will give you guys my #1 prospect and person I am super excited to see give this game a chance, an ex-Apex Legends pro known as Dizzy. Many of you guys know his name. He is absolutely nuts. I think a lot of people will probably say Shroud as well. When it comes time for competing at the top level, though, Dizzy has that FPS talent and the movement of a game like Apex, and certainly the abilities as well can cross over into what we've seen so far from Project A. This guy is absolutely nuts. His current game right now of choice has been CSGO, and he has the movement there as well. So Dizzy for me is certainly going to be a Project A pro prospect I will look out for. What about you guys? Who are your top prospects? Either way, I will keep on breaking down any future leaks which have more solid information around them. And if it does come to it, we'll be covering Project A news here sometime soon. How crazy is that? Enjoy the rest of your weekends, guys, okay? Drink your coffee, drink your water, because I've been doing it. I'm going insane doing all these videos. Someone please help me.